This is my first Flosstube. I am Laura, and you found Lala D Stitches. I have never recorded myself before. I mean, I guess I did a tester video yesterday just to see how the sound would be, and it's pretty quiet, so I hope everybody can hear me. Let me know if I need to do something different. My pupper, you'll probably see her tail going back and forth. Okay, I guess this is first episode, so a little bit of getting to know you. I live in the Seattle area. We just recently moved, so things are still settling in my sewing room. I am a quilter, cross stitcher, crocheter, knitter. I mean, I kind of dabble in everything, but I have dived into the deep end of cross stitch with my most recent foray into it. I was taught by my mom and my grandma to cross stitch when I was little, and I did a number of projects. I did one of these days, if things go well and I don't feel like a complete idiot by the end of this, I will I'll have to do a finish parade. I have a lot of projects that I have completed, but that I haven't framed or finished in any way so that they could be displayed. So I have this little box of ancient finishes, which hold my oldest finishes. They anyway, so I did a number of things when I was younger, and then I got really into quilting and embroidery and other things, and so I stopped cross stitching. I definitely went through a phase where I wasn't interested in what I saw as available. The town I grew up in the cross stitch store closed before I ever really got into cross stitch. I remember going there with my mom when I was little and honestly being pretty bored. But yeah, that closed. And so I had Joann's, Fabricland, I suppose Michael's would have been available, but from those things, I didn't have anything that inspired me to cross stitch. So I kind of dropped off of it for a solid 15 years. And a few years after I had gotten married, I found myself with some health problems and free time and access to the internet, and I came across Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, and they are, oops, I just bumped the table, sorry. They are who I thank and blame for my current cross stitch addiction. The project actually, there on the wall, that little soft finish, is the one that got me back into it, and Instagram took me down the rabbit hole. And so I did this project, and then I found Blackbird Designs through Instagram and Pinterest and tracked that pattern down. That's the yellow submarine. I love it. I loved stitching it. It was my introduction into linen, my introduction into overdyed flosses, and suddenly the possibilities were endless, and I was hooked. I was completely hooked. And so the last 5 or 6 years, I've just enjoyed the journey of going deeper and deeper into this hobby. And I try to stitch every day. Yeah. So I keep looking down here because I'm trying to think of how to go about this. I want to do a WIP Parade. It seems to be the common introduction video, and I can see why, because I am excited to share my love, my hobby, my interests, and what I've been dabbling in. Yeah, I'm excited to share. So we're going to do episode 1 with a WIP Parade, and I have a lot. like I said, I dove into the deep end. So hopefully it won't be too long. I'll try to show you things long enough on screen that you can actually see what it is. Some of my starts are really small. I found Flosstube right before the pandemic. I want to say 2019-ish. And I watched a video here and there. Pam and Steph were my first ones, and they were just delightful. And I think they were in the beginning of their Flosstube videos when I came across them, and I continue to follow them and enjoy a lot of other Flosstubers now at this point. So I've seen a few beginning videos, and yeah, WIP Parade, let's do it. They're kind of in an order. They're certainly not chronological. They're going to be potentially a little bit clumped into seasons or styles of projects, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll just see what hits my hand. I've got them in a basket down here, and I've tried to unzip everything. I know that that can be a trigger for some people, and I get that because my weird thing is plastic bags. I have a couple of them here just because I haven't upgraded them yet, but I get it. Sometimes sounds just rub you weird. So here we go. Let's do this. We'll start at this end because I'm pretty sure that end is more seasonal stuff. So, okay. This feels really weird to talk to myself. I'm just saying. Okay, so my first one is a gold collection petite dimensions kit. I started this summer. I'll tell you everything I know about it or remember about it. I don't remember all the details, but this is a kit, so it's pretty easy. This is my progress thus far. I am just venturing down into these 3-stranded full crosses on 18 count Ada, and it's thick and kind of lost my motivation. So this will probably go to bed for the rest of the summer at this point. Look at my cute little llama. Oh, he's so cute. Yeah, I'm kind of bored with it. And you know, that's the great thing about having a lot of projects is there's always something else to bounce to. And they wait for you, right? Okay, so there's that. I guess I'll put the things we've looked at down here. Yes. Okay. Next one is a Mirabilia. I love Mirabilia designs, especially her fairies. I was a little girl who loved fairies, and actually one of the first cross-stitch books I ever bought, I believe it was a Leisure Arts fairy book, and the designs were okay. At the time, I thought they were magic, though, and I don't know that I actually ever did anything other than browse through that book. I don't think I stitched anything from it, but I love fairies. Anyways, this first one is Stargazer. She's not a fairy, but she was my first Mirabilia I ever purchased. I don't know if it doesn't matter, I guess. You've seen her. She's gorgeous. I found her in a little shop in Mississippi while I was living down there, and I don't honestly remember the name of the shop. It was before I dived back into cross stitch. It was just, I saw the shop, I wandered through it, I fell in love, and the lovely lady who worked there helped me find the linen. So technically, before I did this one, I had purchased linen, but I didn't start this project until a few years ago. It's been pretty recent, and I'm slow. I stitch for pleasure, not for finishes. So that's why you'll see a lot of things in progress and not a lot of finishes, because that's not what drives me. I just love the process and playing with color and seeing these designs become something magic. It's just, the growth of a project is magic. Anyway, so here is my, oh, I need to get a paper. Sorry, guys. Let me rip my to-do list off of it, and we'll see if my very fancy paper here provides a better backdrop. Oh yeah, that helps. That helps. So this is Stargazer on golden linen. I don't know what it is. I'm pretty confident it's a 32 count. Anyway, she's beautiful. She's growing. I can hardly wait to get down into her skirt. I was very intimidated by her skirt when I started her, so I started like on her bustle and then worked up. But now that's done, and I have no more excuses and more experience, so there's more anticipation for all the shading and stuff, that movement that will happen down there. Anyway, yeah, Stargazer. No backstitching yet. I've seen a lot of people who do backstitching as they go, and I like that idea. So I think I'm gonna start using that technique in the future. But I haven't worked on Stargazer in a few months, so she's one. I have been traditionally a seasonal stitcher, so I will work on autumn projects in autumn and something that I classify as spring in spring or summer in summer. So you'll see a lot of flowers and stuff like that in the spring, and a lot of beaches, mermaids, summery things in the summer, brighter colors. I also realized I zipped that. I am sorry if that bothered you. I'll try not to zip anymore. It's kind of habit, but I'll try. Okay, next one. Oh, I was talking about seasons. Heavens. I'm so scattered. I'm so nervous. My heart's like pounding so fast, you guys. You don't even know. It, like, I had to work myself up to filming this. I've wanted to do it for weeks and thought about doing it for months before that. But I definitely have an overactive brain. And so it took some deep breaths to get myself to do this. Anyway, so another Mirabilia. This one is a fairy. She is called, I don't have her memorized. What is she? The Woodland Fairy. She's beautiful. I've seen her with her wings lightened up, so they're a little bit more iridescent and a little less green, and I think I'm going to try to do something similar, but I'm going to leave her dress and everything else as called for. I started her last summer, and I believe she's on Weeks Linen 36 count, Charlotte Pink, which I think will be really pretty in the end. Right now it looks a little odd, but here's my start. So yeah, that was a pretty good start, but not a ton of progress. Also, Acorns and Threads, little plug here. Awesome store. I love Acorns and Threads. Like I mentioned earlier, I moved away recently, so it's not as convenient, but I will still make the trip down there because that's a great shop. And they're always super helpful. And I'm pretty sure I have a little package in the mail coming from them in the next few days. Okay, so next project. Because if I don't start moving through this and I just chatter at you, it might be a lot of fun, but you won't see the projects. Okay, this one's Earth Goddess. I think she's beautiful. It's my first Joan Elliott. I don't know if everything's showing up backwards for you guys. I know I've heard people say that before, but it always looked okay, so I'm hoping it's okay for you too. Just see it differently while you're filming. This is my start. I consider her colors very autumnal, and so I will definitely be pulling her out in the next couple of weeks as we move into the end of August, early September. I'm excited to do more on her. I think she's absolutely gorgeous. I love this this halo of vines around her and the butterflies. Another thing I have always loved is butterflies. And so, you know, anything that gives it a little bit of magic, I guess I'm drawn to. Yeah, okay, we're not zipping. Don't zip. I'm moving through. Okay, next one is, what is her name? Oh heavens, I'm gonna try to look at this without showing the chart. Lily of the Woods, another Mirabilia fairy. She's gorgeous. I've seen her finished up on a Facebook group I follow, and oh my gosh. These pictures, they never do them justice. They are so much prettier stitched up. And so it's really fun to see them come to life, just the colors. This is my little start, kind of the scoop of her blanket or fabric, whatever it is that's draped over the bench there, or bench, branch. Deep breath. It's all good. Okay, no zipping. All right, next one. This is a really tiny star. I almost didn't put this one in the basket because it's so tiny. But this is, I think she's called Sleeping Princess. Yes. Ooh, I'm good. Sleeping Princess, Mirabilia. Another one I saw worked up in my Facebook group. And those people that can stitch super fast and do amazing things, like stitch something this immense in 3 months, I find absolutely inspiring and impossible. But the beadwork through this canopy is, it is so gorgeous, all done up. This is my wimpy little start. I think it was one of those May Madness kind of Stitch Mania things where you just get a little bit in, and especially up until until this move, I have worked a full-time job, and so that is something different for me to not be working all the time. And so getting a little start like that, it looks super wimpy. And oh, did I just show chart? I don't think so. Okay. It looks super wimpy, and it is. But there's a lot of prep work that goes into a start like that. And so I always felt like that was a good thing, to get a few stitches in. Then if I had time, I could just pick it up and start stitching. I didn't have to think about, oh, where do I go? Or do I need to edge my linen or my fabric? And do I need to pull floss or anything like that? Like, I just have a little kit ready to go. In fact, that bucket down there, kit's ready to go. So if I ever get the urge to just start something different, I can, and that's fun. I like that. I don't kit everything up or start everything as soon as I get it. It takes a while. I've got patterns that I've had for years that I don't have linen for. I'm waiting for, the right inspiration, but it'll come. So this one is Little Room in the Attic. I love her designs. This is a very poor copy of printout of my pattern because it's a digital PDF from her. She's based on the other side of the world, somewhere in Russia. And I love her designs. She does the most beautiful blending of colors. I mean, you can kind of see it, even though the copy's poor. The colors are just so gorgeous. And this was my first mermaid pattern. She's really pretty. I'm very intimidated by the 1/1 tiny little skin stitching. And I started her once on a different color of linen. I didn't like it. And I actually very highly dislike this linen, but I think it will work. It's very stiff. I got it online, and it was a bad purchase. This is my start on her, but if you look closely, you can see it's not focusing. There's Krynic in her. It's not showing very well. I don't know why. But there's Krynic in her. So you're working, Krynic is thicker than DMC is, and so you have DMC, 2 or 3 strands of it, plus the Krynic, and it became very thick. And the first linen I had was lovely linen, but it didn't handle the mass of floss very well. I was just distorting it, and I was really unhappy with how it was turning out. And you know, Krynic's not cheap. None of these supplies are cheap, so you want it to turn out well. And so I ripped that all out, which you will learn I did test. I do not like ripping out. Frog stitching is the worst. But sometimes it's necessary, and sometimes it's worth it to have more contentment with your results. So yeah, I started over. And I don't like the linen for the linen itself. It's really thin. I don't know if you could see that. It was like you could just see through it. It's very stiff and crunchy. But I'll probably put it on a bag or something like that. I think that's how I'll finish that one, and then the heaviness of the linen will kind of just add body and support to that. Next one, Mirabilia Petal Fairy, I believe she is called. She's beautiful. I just started her this summer. So I've only done a day of stitching. So there's not a lot going on here, but I already love the colors on this linen. This linen is gorgeous. It is Week Styleworks 32 count sanguine. Sanguine? I think sanguine is how you'd say that. Anyway, she's gonna be so pretty, and there's all these beautiful golds and coppers, and I mean, I think she'll be a perfect late summer, early fall fairy. Yeah, love her. I love the purple in her wings too. She's so pretty. Get them back in my bag. Just in case people ask, I make all my own bags, so I would love to promote somebody. I have seen a lot of beautiful bags out there, but I just make my own. So as I have time and supplies, it's the advantage of being a quilter. Oh, this one I love. This one was a belated Christmas present from my sister, who knows me well, and my first Bella Filipina. Oh my gosh, she is so beautiful. I am just tickled when I open this package. Look at the little bird. I mean, sorry for the plastic and the glare, but she's magic. Oh gosh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for her. Excited enough, let's see this direction, that I have a pretty solid start on her. So you can see it's her sleeves or whatever that is there, coming down into her skirt. And this linen, ooh, I saw this one and just fell in love with it. It's gonna be so gorgeous. Oh my goodness, that's actually a pretty good, it's a little warmer than in the picture, but not bad. Yeah, I love the purples in it. I think it's just gonna really accentuate the floss on it. I did the floss toss and I was like, yep, that's it. This is Fortnite Fabrics, mind-blowing, and it certainly, oh, which way does she go? This way. Certainly was mind-blowing. I knew I had to have this fabric. Hit Acorns and Threads on a great day when they had just gotten a bunch of linen, and I got dibs on some good stuff. Okay. Oh, I love this one. I have a number of larger dimensions kits, and this is one of them. And this one has a bit of a backstory to it. I'll share one of these days. I don't think today's the day, but this is a project that's important to me. It's been a long time stitching. Balloon Glow. And I'm not as far as I would like to say for having just said it's been a long time. Not even halfway. but she's gorgeous. And I just pulled her out recently and did some of the purple shading in this hillside. I love the details that Dimensions kits get. They're not fast projects. You think, oh, it's a kit. Nah. Kit. Boring. But they're gorgeous. They're really beautiful. I'm excited to move up into the project and get some of these other more dynamic colors into it. I think that'll really give it life. And if I'm moving too fast through any of these, and you want to see them again or something like that, just leave a comment and I'll do my best to make adjustments so that this is a more enjoyable process for everybody. No zippers. Whoop. Almost did it. Okay, this is another Dimensions kit. Dimensions Gold. I prefer the gold ones. They just put a little bit more effort into the charts. They have a little more detail in the designs and color blending and stuff. I actually enjoy color blending. I think it does what oh gosh, my brain just went totally blank. I'm sure I looked like an alien just took over my brain there for a second as I space out. I like blending threads using 2 different colors or so. I love how that adds shading, and it does kind of what the overdyes do without having to use multiple threads. But sometimes it does it a little bit more effectively because it places the color change exactly where the designer wants it, and it can be very effective. It's really cool. Anyway, I came across this artist, signed by Ruth Sanderson, in puzzles years ago, because I am a puzzle doer when I have a good table for it, and I bought 2 or 3 of them at the time, and it was before I knew they were in. I don't even know if they were in Gold Dimensions at the time. When was this done? This was, well, it doesn't say. Anyways, probably says somewhere in the chart, but I'm not going to dig for it right now. Anyways, I didn't know they were in cross stitch, and I wasn't into cross stitch at that point. So puzzles were a great way for me to find her art and fall in love with it. And it has a very fairy vibe to me, even though she's an enchantress. Not quite a fairy, but it feels fairy-like to me. There's magic to it, and it makes me think in a lot of ways of Chronicles of Narnia, and I don't know why. Maybe the transition between the seasons there or something. This was a Christmas present from my in-laws last winter, so I got a pretty decent start on it. But again, seasonal stitcher, so once the season was out and I was distracted by other things, I put her away for the season. But you can actually see, a little bit of her shape, so not a bad start. She'll be fun to pick up again this year. Though I do have plans to start a different Dimensions kit. Oh, pardon me. In honor of my dog, who we just said goodbye to a month ago. Anyways, so I don't know how much work I'll actually get done on her this year, just because I have some additional plans. Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. This was a stitch along. I love stitch alongs, but I am terrible at keeping up with them, like chronically bad at keeping up with them. This one was a number of years ago. 2016, a number of years ago. I've got a decent start on it. This was I bought the kit for this one. This was, again, 2016. It was the beginnings of my cross stitch, excuse me, sorry, itchy ear, my goodness. The beginning of my cross stitch re-entry, I don't know how to put it. I think it's absolutely charming, and I, as I've mentioned, I love to read. both fiction and nonfiction, and I love history books, and so I have grand dreams of traveling the world one day. Who knows how much that will actually happen. But I can always travel through my books and my cross stitch if I ever finish it. I will finish it someday. It's kind of on the back burner right now because I'm excited about some other things. but I think it's charming, and that'll be a fun one to work on. Okay, Charles Wysocki. I love his art. Another gold collection, Dimensions, Cozy Cove kit. Anymore, kits are pretty much the only way I work on Ada. It's not that I dislike Ada, and I am learning that there are some spectacular hand-dyed Adas out there now, which have me tempted, because certainly when you're traveling, I find it a lot easier to stitch when those squares are nicely defined. But 18 count can be a little intense on bumpy roads because we always travel to the mountains. This is my start. I love Charles Wysocki designs. My grandparents loved Charles Wysocki as well, and they had a lot of patterns, oh my goodness, puzzles. And I remember going to their house as a child, and they always had a puzzle going. They had a little table by their bookshelves with 2 chairs, and they almost always had a puzzle going on it. And it was usually a Charles Wysocki. And I was lucky enough to inherit a few of those, and I try to do them every year. They're so much fun. Anyways, I am excited to have some of his artwork on my wall at some point. Yeah, that's a fun one. But again, it's kind of like a late summer autumn stitch, so it hasn't gotten a lot of love just because seasonal stitcher. I'm trying to incorporate a couple of seasonal days into each month so that my work gets a little bit of attention outside of the season, so that hopefully I can have some finishes for my walls at some point in the near-ish future. We'll see how that works. I've only been doing it for a month. It's a very new idea to stitch anything out of season. But like I said, I want people to know that I do projects outside of my sewing room. It's pretty much one of the only places I have finished things. Just haven't had the time. Anyways, Heartstring Samplery, Consider the Lilies. When this came out in market last year, the year before. Don't want to show the, oh, phooey, sorry, chart alert, excuse me, so sorry. 2020, so 2 years ago, year and a half, we'll be generous, year and a half ago. I picked it up the moment I saw it. I think it's beautiful. I liked the other one, His Eyes on the Sparrow, I think is what it's called, but something about the freshness of the colors in this one just spoke to me, and I knew that this was, if I was going to do a huge project, and this is huge, it's huge. If I was going to do a large scale project, the colors in this one just drew me in. So I have a reasonable start on this. I've made some good progress on it this year. I've started pulling it out on Sundays as a Sunday stitch, and that's helped. Though I did nothing this last Sunday because we weren't home, and I'm not going to take it anywhere. It's going to get dirty. Because these are all over-dyed floss, and they're gorgeous. I have altered some of the flower colors. I just didn't have access to them in 2020. We all know what happened that year, and you know, supplies were sparse, so I just used my stash and used what colors I could that were called for, and then swapped out. It's so pretty. But okay, you know when Aunt Flo comes to visit and your brain leaves the house for the week? Maybe don't do intense cross stitch when that happens, because this whole bloom, except for maybe the yellow, is gonna have to go. I made a big goobery mistake, and it could have possibly also been the movie I was watching, which was far more intense than I thought it was gonna be. Geostorm. If you like natural disaster movies and Gerard Butler's Muscles, it's a good one. Intense. Maybe don't cross stitch while you watch it. I love disaster movies in the summer especially. Super fun. And I blame my mom for that. Or thank her. I just watched Jaws recently. Golly, that's a good movie. It never gets old. I've got to flip this chart around. It's going the wrong way. This is a kit. Design Works. And it has quilts in it. And the ocean. And those are like my two favorite things. So I had to get it. And it took me years to start this one. Here's the Dockside Quilts. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I love it. I can... And again, the picture does not do the colors justice, because look at this. Look how pretty this is. Those colors are so fresh and bright. I'm working on this one tomorrow. So I've got a new schedule, like I was saying. I used to just kind of stitch whatever. But when you stitch whatever, you don't make a lot of progress, because whatever, oops, zipper, sorry. Whatever's whatever, and and I'm like a bumblebee, speaking of this next project. Hive Rules. It's a new one this year. Again, I saw it and went, oh, I don't even like stitching words, you guys. Words are, some people love to stitch words. I think words are beautiful. Samplers are beautiful. I don't like stitching them. They're boring. I want to see the colors, but I would rather do full coverage than words. But this is adorable. This is charming. And then I turned around and saw this linen, and I was like, oh, done. This is happening. Woo-hoo. Isn't it cute? It's so fun. And even though I don't like stitching words, oh, here, sorry. Did you see it? I don't know how long to hold them up. Is that enough? It's cute. There's not a lot to see there. You're good. I love positive phrases. Positivity is good. Not all of life is positive. Let's get real for a minute. But positivity is good. It's healthy. Okay. I have lost track of what I was saying. Whatever, doesn't matter. Moving on. So this is my first Ink Circles pattern. I love their designs, but I don't just buy all the things I love. I have to be able to see them in my home, or I have to have a place for them at some point. Some kind of idea of, yeah, I want that in my home, or I want to give that to somebody, or something along those lines. Like, I can't just be like, I love that, but I would never put it up. Let's spend 10,000 hours stitching on it. Not that it's actually 10,000 hours. I mean, maybe some projects are. That'd be a lot. Anyways, I love this one. After the Roses is what it's called. And I started it on Mount Air Linens, Plum Pudding, 32 count. Pretty good established stitch. But again, I consider it kind of springy, so demoted for the time being. It'll be fun to stitch. The colors are gorgeous on this one. Look at this. Oh, this is so yummy. Color. I love color. Look at these. Aren't they beautiful? Oh, they're just beautiful. So fun. This one's going to be gorgeous. This is a living room stitch. Let the public see it. Okay, tuck that away. Toss that down there gently. Next. This is not started. It's a kit. We're just gonna put that away. Maybe this one. Oh, I don't know if I have a picture for this one. So I buy a lot of digital patterns, and I don't always have the ink to print a picture. Anyway, this is Little Room in the Attic, the Swallow, Flowers, and Umbrella. It's beautiful. It's an umbrella, and it has blooms up at the top of the umbrella, and then the handle and a little swallow that sits on top of it. It's really pretty. I'm excited to work on that again, but it's very springtime. I mean, these colors, they're very bright and clean and absolutely delightful. But it's mid-August, and with so much of the world, my brain is fighting the desire for it to not be hot and sweaty and summer. I am ready for sweaters. I'm definitely cuddle up under the quilt with a good book and a cup of coffee and stitch or read or watch the rain. I love that time of year. I can hardly wait. I am always excited for the change of seasons. Okay, this is another little room in the attic. It's called something. What is its name? Watercolor Landscape. And this is a black and white picture, so it's not going to show you much. I think it's upside down. Yeah. Anyway, it's a mountain scene with ocean and some sky, grasses. It's very blendy and pretty, and I had this really loose linen. You can see it's thin. But somehow it lended itself well to this project. So a lot of half stitches. It actually goes pretty quickly, but you have to focus a lot because there is so much blending. It's easy to lose your place in this one. So, but I think it'll be really beautiful. I love the ocean. I love the seaside. And it doesn't have to be tropical. In fact, it's probably, for me anyways, it's better if it's not. I'd rather have a stormy Oregon sea than a sunny Hawaii sea. Not that I've ever been to Hawaii, but and maybe I'll change my mind once I go to Hawaii and experience a beautiful, clear ocean. I went to Cancun once. It was gorgeous. Very established tourism, though. Had a very touristy feel. Okay, this is, I don't know if I have a picture of this. I have a partial picture of this. This is another SAL that I fell off the bandwagon with, but I think it's charming, and I want it in my kitchen. It's, all of it is released now. I just haven't printed out the picture. But it's all these cute little coffee, tea, cocoa mugs, and I think they even have soda and stuff in the bottom row. Really, really cute. Frosted pumpkin stitchery. And I bought the kit for this one as well, the linen kit. So it's just called for DMCs, and there are a couple of beads that will go into various spots. They have a little finishing kit with it. But I got this far. It'll be fun. Fun to work on. I need to make like I need to have a SAL stitching day. Maybe my Tuesdays could be SAL days, where I just pull out old abandoned SALs, stitch-alongs, and work on them, because you will see here I have a number of them. This one, I don't think I have a picture that I can share. It's another digital one. It's Clouds Factory, and called the Magical Creatures Calendar. And I am a big fantasy girl. I love me some Lord of the Rings and Brandon Sanderson. And, well, I mean, I don't love Brandon Sanderson, but I'm learning to love some of those other ones. But I have, anyways, mythical creatures I like. And I'm not a big border person. Like, you put a big frame and border stuff, and it will probably usually be the last thing I stitch. This one, I got a wild hair, and I just actually enjoyed it. And I was in the car, and it's on Ada. And so I stitched the whole frame, and I'm changing the colors as I go on this one, though. This one was charted in DMCs, and you can see I have, it's very subtle, but this is a Weeks Dye Works. And then in here, my tree, it barely shows. I think that's what stopped me, is like, do I do something about that, or do I just let it be frosty? It shows a little bit better in person. Not much better, but anyway, I'm changing the colors as I go. So it takes a little bit longer than just kind of plowing through the designs when you start playing with customizations and stuff like that. But I love to make projects my own, to make them, something about them be unique and mine, whether that's just a fabric change or changing colors or maybe adding a tiny little addition to the motif so that it's a little bit more individualized. Is that a word? Individualized? Sure, why not? We're getting there. Well, we're not getting there. We're probably halfway. If this video is too long, I totally understand if you need a snack or something like that. Hopefully you're having fun. It's really fun to go through all of your projects and be like, oh yeah, I love that one. This is another SAL. It is called something. Fantasy something, I want to say. Do I have any paperwork that says what it is? Oh, I can't even show you these pages. They're all chart. Fantasy Design. That may be the name. Fantasy Design. It's super cute. Lakeside Needlecraft. I found this one on Pinterest of all places. And oh my goodness, it's so cute. You can see my reluctance in this one to do frames. I get halfway through one and totally abandon it. Or I do half stitches and then don't do the other half of the stitches. Frames are boring. It's more fun to make a dragon become magical. Or to add the back stitching and make this little mermaid come to life. This one will be so cute when it's all done. That little ladybug, so cute. It's gonna be super fun. It's got unicorns and gnomes or mushrooms and all sorts of cute things in this one. This is adorable. I should pull this one out again. See, I need a Sal Tuesday or Sal Saturday or something like that. Got too many cute ones. Don't even get me started on my Hawk Run Hollows. I mean, those, you guys, those are big projects. They are a lot more stitching than you think they are when you just look at it. This is a Satsuma Street Sal, Alice in Wonderland. I hand-dyed my own Ada for it because I had Ada. I wanted it to be this color and I didn't have money for linen at the time. So, ta-da! Like I said, I fall off the bandwagon no matter how cute it is. Oh, it's so cute. I love Alice in Wonderland. You want a good Alice in Wonderland, oh, golly, I can never remember the term, retelling, we'll just say it that way. Heartless. I was given that book a couple of years ago, and that's a good book. That was a lot of fun. That was a good read. All right. I love it when they tell classic stories from a different perspective. Okay, something you will learn about me. I'm a nerd. I love me some Star Trek. All the Star Treks, which makes this awesome. From the OG to the current, all the captains. Super fun. Yeah, it's a decent start. But I only stitch this one when I'm watching Star Trek. And right now we don't have a streaming service. They keep, oh, my unicorn is upside down. Isn't that cute? It's not focusing. So cute though. Anyway, all my streaming services have given up the rights to stream Star Trek, which is so not cool, but I get it. Anyway, so I can't really watch any Star Trek right now. I mean, I could watch the movies. I have all the movies, but get a lot more story with the episodes, with the series. Okay. Ooh, this is a fun one. Blackbird Designs, Octopus Garden, a little companion piece to, there we go, my Yellow Submarine. And I'm doing it on the same linen. It's a natural something, Zweigart or something like that. Stiff as can be, but it looks really cool. The texture is good on it. Just a small start. It looks like the linen's really crooked. Might have to look into that before I go much farther. He looks very crooked. All right. Back in the bag. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Okay, this is one of my first big projects. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. Brenda Gervais, I love her designs. It's one of her stitch along slow releases. It's 3-parter, I think. A mystery sampler, but it's old. It's been out for a long time. And I have the rest of the patterns somewhere in my bucket. Ooh, I am almost done with this border. That's exciting. It's so beautiful. Isn't it beautiful? And look how the overdyes change through the, love it. I think I ran out of the red, and that's what slowed me down last time I had this out. Oh, it's beautiful. And in the middle, there's like a hill with some sheep, and then I think there's a samplery alphabet up here, and yeah. Super pretty. Some point, it will be, well, at some point all of these will be done. Okay, this one is Creative Poppy. This one I have considered changing the fabric on. I love this. Kyoko Maruoka. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. I'm probably butchering it. Designer up here. I think it's beautiful. This little outer floral is actually not stitched. That's a ribbon or something that they framed it in. So it's just the center. Full coverage. It's pretty intense. But I started it on an 18 count Aida. And not only is it very stiff, I don't know. I'm just not... Again, it's what I had. And I'm not sure... I'm just not sure. Got a pretty decent start on it. And it is full coverage, so it's not like you see it. I just don't enjoy stitching on Aida as much. It's stiffer, the holes are... My hands get tired. And I broke my thumb a few years back. And ever since then, it gets sore. Broke my thumb, and then I also worked in a quilt shop for years and years and years. And when you straighten fabric, I use my thumb to kind of firm things up on the shelf and bring things to where they are. And so my gripper motion and then this joint, it gets achy. And I'm sure at some point in my future I'll have some kind of arthritis or something lovely like that in it. Anyways, for now I just try to protect it. So when I get a fabric that's uncomfortable to stitch on, I seriously consider what would it be easier to stitch on, and maybe even just a larger count Aida or something. I don't know. I can dig through my little stash here. The next one is a lavender and lace, which I grew up watching my mom do lavender and laces. So when I came upon this pattern in a garage sale, estate sale, 13 years ago-ish, and it was like a steal of a price, I jumped on it. Even though I wasn't cross-stitching at the time, but I think she's beautiful. Nantucket Rose. I think Pam from Just Keep Stitching is working on this one right now, and inspired me to pull it back out because she's gorgeous. I can hardly wait. So what I've been doing, I've been working on these boring bushes here, and I'm trying to get down into these beautiful roses because I think bringing that color into it will be fun. I shouldn't say boring. It's beautiful and it's fun. Again, this one has parts of it that are more full coverage, and so you get that blending and it's subtle and it takes paying attention to, but it's so worth it because it's so beautiful. She's so beautiful. Anyways, so the flowers start somewhere in this area. I'm making progress. Getting there. Yeah. She's beautiful. And she was, this linen, it's a mystery linen. It was tucked into the pattern. At the estate sale, it had not been stitched on. It hadn't even been edged. I edged it by hand 1,000 years ago. I don't know why I didn't use my sewing machine. I had one, but you know, you do weird things. Anyways, she's beautiful. Okay, this one, do I have a start on that one? Is a kit. Okay, we're gonna put that bag away. Apparently I thought I had sorted out all of my kits from my starts, but I missed a few. Okay, this one I don't appear to have a picture that I can show you. I'm sorry. I know it's kind of a bummer to not see what it will be. It is called Starry Night by, it's on Etsy. Stitching Land. And it's cool. It's a circle design and it's got galaxies and planets and stars and stuff, and I have always loved space and I have a very small start on it. This is a pretty linen. This is one that I think this is the one I ripped my mermaid out of. I love the linen. Just didn't work for that project. It'll be great for this one though. If I get my rear end in gear and actually do some stitching on it. You know, everything has its season. It's all good. Ooh, I love this one. I think I have a picture of this one. This is Watercolor Unicorn. Little room in the attic. Picture doesn't do it justice. Oh, the colors are so pastel and blendy and beautiful, and this one takes brain power because of that again. And I hadn't heard of using what do people call it? A working chart. I think I'm saying it wrong, but here's my progress. I hadn't heard of using that. Making a copy of your design and then being able to mark it up without damaging the original chart. And I have since, especially with my Mirabilias and stuff, started having a working chart, and that absolutely saves my bacon. To be able to, I go through and I actually highlight. I use these cool mild liner pens, because they have a fine point, but not too fine. So it still highlights a square for me without marking extra squares. And I'm able to mark the stitches I've actually completed. Hi, baby. Good girl. Yes, you are. Good girl. Happy little tail. That's not a start. It just helps so much. I wish I could show you one of my charts just to show you. You can see exactly what you've done and what you haven't done. And I cannot, for the life of me, find my Android tablet. It's somewhere. I just haven't found it again since my move. So I can't use Pattern Keeper right now, and which essentially does the same thing. So for now, it's a really good substitute. Plus, I've been enjoying tracking my stitches. I was never a stitch counter, but my goodness, it gives a feeling of satisfaction when you don't see a lot of progress on the fabric from your stitching to say, oh, but I actually did 500 stitches. You know, that's substantial. So it's rewarding. I've been enjoying counting my stitches. This one, I love it. It's so pretty. And all these little ladies are in a row of the seasons. So it starts, I think it starts with spring and then goes summer, or summer, fall, winter in order. It is a Russian designer, Nitka, and it came in the prettiest packaging and came way faster than I thought it would, especially since I got this last year. And so, you know, shipping things were still kind of goobered up from the pandemic and everything, and that's fine. Like I wasn't in a hurry. I clearly have plenty to do. But the designs are so pretty. I think Barbara Anna designed, it's a Barbara Anna design, but it was released exclusively through Nitka. I'm pretty sure that's how it happened. So I have a start on autumn. That's the last time I worked on it. And then I did this much of spring last year when we were in Tahoe, which is pretty much heaven on earth, and I just want to go back. Climb a mountain and breathe that clean alpine air. Alpine. I don't know if you can call it alpine. It's not the Alps, but it's clean and fresh and beautiful and high mountains. Plus, I got to see the got to see the Olympic grounds, which was super cool. Having never been to an Olympics. This is a series, Blackbird Designs, Loose Feathers, and it's 9 charts, and people do them in a grid of 3x3. I've seen them done loose, I've seen them done that way. I'm doing it in a grid of 3x3, I guess I should specify, and I'm not super far. I finished one. I think they are elegant and gorgeous. I changed, isn't he handsome? He's not quite done. I don't have his eyeball done. Centers of the flowers are not done. There's a couple little tiny things, but I moved on to the next one because, you know, sometimes you just gotta do something different. They're just beautiful. I've changed the color of the blooms. They're originally a really, really soft pink, and I love purple. So I don't dislike pink. I'm wearing pink. But I love purple, and so I wanted to incorporate a little bit of purple throughout the design. So I'll probably shift a couple of the other ones as well, just to bring pops of it throughout. Yeah, that one's beautiful. That one someday I want above my piano. I think that will be a really good. Oh, songbirds and. Oh, we're getting there. They're starting to fall over. Okay, this is Satsuma Street. It's called garden party, and she did a warm and cool version. So the cool has purples and blues and aquas and is beautiful. I've been really drawn to hotter colors though. I'm getting warm. This is a warm room and I have the window closed because I'm on a busy street. Okay, we'll keep schmoving and I'll be able to open the window again. Isn't it happy? I'm gonna finish this one on a pillow, just like a throw pillow. I saw somebody who had done the cool version, I think it was a cool version, and they shaped the pillow in the hexagon, and they'd used like a green cotton velvet for the back and the sides. They'd done like a 2-inch side. Anyways, I think something like that would be gorgeous. Yeah, maybe do something in this like raspberry plum color for the hot one and then go green with the cool. This is just an even weave that I coffee dyed. Nothing fancy. Super fun to work on. I've been moving really slow on it though because I just do a motif here and there and move on to something else. I joke that I have chronic startitis. I love to start projects. I love the planning and the excitement of starting a new project. Ooh, Hawk Run Hollow. This is the shores of Hawk Run Hollow. You've all seen it. If you've been on social media and watched any Flosstubers, there are a lot of people out there doing this one. All of them. They're gorgeous. They're popular for a reason. I am doing mine on R&R linen 36 count called Fog Lifter Blend. Kind of a mouthful. And I am customizing my colors. I am so satisfied with this first block. It's so pretty. I love lighthouses. I love reading the history of lighthouses and then going and exploring them. I dream of going to the East Coast and seeing those lighthouses. This you can see in the picture. It's originally charted in DMCs and the water is a lot brighter. But I live on the West Coast and Oregon shores and Washington shores are stormy and moody, and I wanted to depict that in my shores. So this is actually a silk. It was my first time using silks. It is spectacular. Glory on a silks. Absolutely gorgeous. And then the rest are a blend of Weeks Dye Works and Gentle Arts and some DMCs. I'm pretty sure they're just a mix. Some of these rocks are the original colors, some are not. But they're all very similar. I laid out the original DMCs and then I found overdyes that I liked. Sometimes I brightened it, sometimes I stuck right as close as I could to the original, and just depended on what I wanted to do. I haven't gone much farther. You can see another complete border. Just because the next one is a really bright block. It's this one. And I am not sure which way I want to go with it. If I want to keep it really bright or maybe go a little bit more subdued, traditional with my colors. I don't want it to be too shocking since my linen is a little bit softer, more gray. Anyways, we'll see. At some point, I will feel driven to I'll feel driven to do it. Just have to wait till inspiration strikes. Okay, my next Hawk Run Hollow is autumn. Gorgeous. I love it. I bought the perfect linen for it, and then I got home and it was substantially too short. So I did nothing with it at all last year. I was just so disheartened when my linen wouldn't work and I couldn't afford to go out and get other linen. So I just put it away. I was like, all right, I'll figure this out another day. So I spent some time. They give you this great printout of all the pictures, the motifs, squares, I don't know what you want to call them. So I made a copy of that and cut it apart, arts and crafts style. And I've decided to do it, but with fewer blocks, so it will fit on my beautiful, beautiful linen. And I'll still do, you can see there's this top border topper with the pumpkins. I think they're gorgeous. I love the little spiders, which is ironic because I don't enjoy spiders in real life unless they're those cute little jumping spiders that look like they have little kawaii faces, and they're adorable. Not that I want one in my house, but they're super cute to look at online. Anyways, I love the spiders. I love the pumpkins, the birds. I just think it's a really nice topper. So I didn't want to lose that. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to do these 6 squares. So that has a very autumn feel. You'll see in a second, I also have, I think it's Halloween, Hawk Run Hollow. And so I already had a very Halloween focused one, which I also love. So I cut out the Halloween ones, and then some of the ones that just had more words. Me and my words. I just kept my favorite designs. And so I'm going to just do the topper and then these 6. And after I decided that, I started stitching the top banner topper. Super fun. This is not showing the color. This is such a warm, it's Weeks Linen Cappuccino, and it's just such a warm, well, that's better. It's just all the oranges and golds are gonna pop, and I'm excited for that. I think it's gonna be really pretty. And then I don't have to stitch it 1 over 1 and totally bug out my eyes, which get worse every year. So we're gonna be nice to them, just like we're nice to the thumb. Okay. I love this one. This one was a gift from my mom for Christmas, and I promptly started it. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I love owls. And this little sideways owl, just like he's peeking out. So cute. Look at his fat little body. And I love all the colors. Such pretty purples and reds, and oh, it's gonna be so much fun to stitch. I promptly started it. It came with an Aida, and it was really tough to stitch on. So I dug through my stash and found a white linen, and it's gonna be perfect. And I have, let's see, yeah, that's the right way. It's hard to tell when you have just a start and you haven't really established much shape yet. Which way is up? I have to look at the stitches. Anyway, this is just a little bit of his tummy, and I think that's the stem of the mushroom beginning. So pretty. This one's gonna be fun. This one's coming out. This one feels a little bit more, again, kind of winter autumnal. I don't know if it's something about the brown gold leaves or the berries. I don't know. It just gives me a end of the year vibe. So excited to pull this one out again. Its season is coming. Get it in my bag. It's a little tight in this bag. Made it a little narrow. So cute. I love it. And it's all in Russian. I don't know who the designer is. I'm sorry. I do not read that. Okay, this is Black Cat Hollow. Barbara Anna Designs. I just have a little bit of the frame started. It's so cute though. She has such a distinct artistic style, and I love it. I do not have a picture of the whole chart. I'm sorry. I mean, I have the chart, but not the final design. It's super cute. It has rows and little houses and witches and stuff, and you should look it up. It's really cute. I hopefully at some point will learn how to edit videos so they get the little picture in there. I haven't done it If I get super ambitious before I publish this, I might attempt to do so. If I don't, I will learn it at some point, I promise. Okay, my favorite designer in the world, almost. I have several favorites, but I love Blue Flower, the Blue Flower. And look at this, it's so cute. We've got kind of a glare. But oh my gosh. The skeleton costume on the dog, and look at his little bumblebee costume. Oh my gosh. And the cat is dressed as a peacock up here. So cute. She does the cutest things with animals. I just started the tree last year, which means I will probably jump into one of the cute little critters when I pull this out again. I love it. Oh my goodness. It's so cute. I love Halloween designs. I have a lot of Halloween designs started, and I've only finished a few because, again, it's like a month. I usually push it through September so I get more time in it these days, but it's just not enough time. That's why I'm starting to incorporate some days. Oh my goodness, my mascara is running. Sorry. Pretty. I'll pull this one out of the bag. I can get it out. It's not gonna make too much noise, hopefully. Okay. Ghoul Tidings. This is one of my first Halloween designs I picked up. It's super cute, but I goobered up. So I started it with the called for over dies, and then I ran out, but I wanted to keep stitching on it. So I used DMC, and now my witch is so strong. I don't know what to do. Sometimes I'm like, it's okay. She's like the center of the design. It's okay if her dress is really super black. But then I look at the words, and I don't know if it shows in the camera, but they're just softer. They're just a little bit more grayed out. And so, and you can see I've got, hopefully those holes come out. Counted wrong. They will once it gets a bath. Anyways, I don't know. I've completely stopped working on it because I cannot decide whether or not to risk ripping it out and having the black residue. Which, I mean, it's going to get stitched with the dark color. It would probably be okay, but I resist any kind of ripping out. And so it's either rip her out or start it over on a different piece of linen altogether. I don't know. I can't decide. I think it's a charming design, and I've seen it stitched up in person, and it was absolutely adorable. So cute. As is this one, Scaredy Cat. Oh my goodness. I'm not gonna, so these have these little button, it comes with them, which is great if you love them. It's really nice when they include the accessories like that in designs. I don't care for them personally, so I'm going to omit them. Oh my gosh. So cute. Super fun. Ran out of black. It's that same Weeks Dye Works Onyx. Don't worry. I have some more in order. It's coming. It's so cute. Can you see it? This one I'm excited. This one I will finish this year and I would love to finish it in September so I can frame it and then get it on the wall for October because I think it's absolutely adorable. And Halloween's a big holiday in my house just because my husband loves scary movies, and so we always do like this month-long marathon of scary movies. And I tell you what, the first few years we were married, I was a little traumatized, but it's all good. I enjoy them a lot more now than I used to. This one is an ink circles. Oh golly, it's so shiny. I'm gonna pull it out. It's super cute. I saw this one finished, and you can see, golly, the glare. So there's 4 motifs in this circle of tombstones, which say Happy Halloween all the way around, and these bats. So cute. I really like it. I didn't get very far last year. I bought it last year at the tail end of the season and loved it, and almost finished a bat. Woot woot. Yay me. It's a cool linen though. It has a little bit of a gray marbling through it. It doesn't, the camera doesn't do it justice. It's fox and rabbit linen baked clay, 36 count. It's gonna be good. I think it's gorgeous. This will be fun to work on. This will not be a finish this year, but it will definitely get some stitching time. Okay, Plum Street Samplers. It's just got to be one of my favorite designers. I really like their stuff. This one I'm doing micro-sized though. In my world, this is micro-sized. Jack's Bash. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. And the phrase says, here in the Ruffed and autumn bower, the knobby gourd and bitter flower, we merry make and sing hooray to our friend Jack on his birthday. And then it says, Happy Halloween at the top. I love these like haunted houses up here, and the raven. So good. So fun. But I'm doing this on 40 count. 1/2, excuse me. And it's tiny. I have my frame done. At least the outer line. It's so wrinkly. I'm sorry. And it's so pretty. Those over-dyed flosses. I make a little progress every year. Don't love the coverage. I tend to like denser coverage, but I'm hoping that this will just kind of fluff up a little bit when it gets its bath and gets a final press. And either way, it looks good from a distance. Fun. And I like the small finished size of it overall. So it'll be good. I just need, I don't know, maybe I need a better light so I can stitch on tiny things like this. Maybe. Okay, this barely counts as a start, but I'm going to show it to you because I got plans. This is the Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. Whoop. It's so cool. I love this center panel. I love the Headless Horseman, Sleepy Hollow, the little Disney animated Sleepy Hollow, Ichabod Crane. It was one of my favorite things as a kid at Halloween. I love that. It's fun. I watch it even as an adult. I don't have any kids, but I like it. I am altering it though, because gotta make it mine, right? So I had the autumn at Hawk Run Hollow, which had some really cute Halloween motifs that I omitted from that one. So I played arts and crafts again, and I have shifted a couple of these, the Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow ones around so that I could include, I love the witch with the moon and the little kitty cat on the broom and the ghosts. I just think they're so cute. So I didn't want to lose the opportunity to stitch them, and I thought incorporating them into this would be really fun because, let's be honest, that's a lot of stitching, the sirens, and it's not as Halloween-y to me, I guess. But ghosts in a graveyard with a jack-o'-lantern, super Halloween-y. So someday I will make big progress. I had to rip this one out though. I had started it 2/2 on 40 count because I think I started it that way because of the coverage on Jack's Bash being a little bit more spacey, but then it was really dense. It's just 2 threads on 40 count. And this is a lightweight linen. I think it's a Weeks Dye Works. I don't have my little tag somewhere. I'll try to find it. Oh, excuse me, talking a lot. Oh. I'm warm. Long hair. I've had short hair for many, many years. And this grow out is the longest I've had it in a long time. Maybe, well, a very long time. And it's warm. I should have put it in a ponytail perhaps. Anyways, tiny restart. You can see I'd had the frame. There's just a little echo of it there. But I'm happy. It's not focusing. I'm happy with the coverage of 1/2 on this one, at least so far. I think it's going to be much better overall and an easier stitch that way, which since it's such a large stitch will be a good thing. I love this fabric. It's just kind of a swampy gray green. It's not showing super well. It's really washed out. It's much more green than it's showing here. It's going to be really good for this spooky stitch. Okay, this was a birthday present, I believe, from my mom again. My girls know me well. This is actually I don't know if you can call it an antique, a vintage stitch. 1982 Dimensions kit, Charles Wysocki. Oh, I love it. I love the train, which I think is why my mom got it for me. I inherited my grandpa's train. He had some beautiful train artwork, and it always is featured in my living room. I think it's gorgeous, and I just love history in general. So the old steam engines they were modern marvels in their time. It was absolutely incredible. So I swapped out the original Aided from 1982, had a needle in it because it was a kit, and it had rusted. And it was in the heart of the stitching, unfortunately. And you can see there's a lot of open space throughout this. They just kind of let the images float on the fabric rather than filling in, as a lot of Dimensions do now. And so I knew I needed to swap out the fabric. So I went to a linen, and I like the autumn feel of this. These colors feel very Christmassy right now because I've added none of the golds or browns into it yet. But I think that they will, oh my goodness, it looks so bright. But I think it will all come together really nicely. And yeah, pretty good start on this one. This one's fun. Again, seasonal stitcher. It really only comes out in the autumn. And I've only had it a year or so. So it's really only gotten a season or 2 of stitching, I think. It was a Christmas present. I started it that year. So yeah, it's really only had a few stitching sessions. It will get more this year because I'm excited for this one. It's fun. Also, look at my cute bag. I love it. I think this is Alexander Henry fabric from a few years ago. So cute. I wish I had 3 more bags out of this fabric. Super cute. Okay, I think I've got one more spooky stitch and then a handful of Christmas stitches. We're almost there. Almost there. I have a lot of starts. Like I said, chronic startitis. This is the Witchy Stitcher Cryptid Stitch Along. I was doing it with my sister. I am still doing it with my sister. She made a lot more progress than I did. She's very dedicated to her stitching when she gets a project. But we've both fallen off the wagon. So I'm not alone. I'm not alone. The only thing I've changed on this so far is I switched out the Ecru DMC for, I think it's toasted marshmallow or something like that, Weeks Dye Works. And then I am putting a couple of overdyes in my moons, which I love the touch of the moons going down both sides of this design. Other than that, so far I have stuck to the called for flosses. I do know that there are a couple in my future, like there's the cutest little frog-like creature, and I'm definitely going to swap out a couple of his greens for overdyes because it's dense enough stitching that you could actually see the effect of the overdyes. Yeah, this is stitched on Picture This Plus linen fawn 32 count. It's fun. I love cryptids. Cryptid lore is one of my hobbies, and I thoroughly enjoy just diving into the deep end, reading the first-hand accounts, and watching documentaries and reality shows of people going after them and never finding anything of any true substance, but it's very entertaining. I really enjoy it. Okay. Sasquatch is one of my favorite, actually. So my dear friend stitched this Sasquatch for me right before I moved, and so she had to get it. It's a she. She's got flowers in her briefcase, and so yeah, and it's really cute on the rotary cutter. It says BF like Bigfoot. Very clever. I love it. Anyways, I'm working on a Sasquatch quilt right now, and I need to find the perfect. I'm on the hunt for the perfect Sasquatch cross stitch design. If you guys know of any great ones, let me know. Lindy Stitches, absolutely charming birds. I love how she does birds. Mr. and Mrs. Delicious, I am combining the two pillows into one continuous design, so it's almost like they're kissing. Last year I only did Mr. Delicious. This year I will do Mrs. Delicious as the other half of my... This is a great November stitch. I mean, it's very Thanksgiving-y because of the turkeys, but and I definitely decided last year that I needed some autumn designs that weren't just Halloween. I needed something that could carry through September and November, so I don't jump into Christmas prematurely, because that's definitely definitely happened before. Okay, I lied. I have one more Halloween design. This is another Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I don't have the design, but it's called Halloween Spooky Sampler. And I'm swapping out a lot of the DMCs for overdyes, like my little ghosty ghost. I just love the texture it gives. There's nothing wrong with DMC. I do the majority of my projects with DMC, but I'm a fan, and especially if I have it in my stash, it's just fun to play with the colors and customize. And this one's really cute. Each little block has a letter HAL, you know, Halloween, all through the word, and it's a 9x9 grid with that pretty frame around it. And again, if I get the gumption, maybe there'll be a picture floating here, maybe not. If not, I will definitely print a picture, worst case scenario, before you guys see it again. Okay, I only have a few Christmas stitches, which is weird, but I realized this last year. I love Christmas. It's definitely my best decorated holiday because I consistently finish my Christmas projects. But I don't have a lot of cross stitch in my Christmas, so I have plans to start 2 projects this season, and then I have 1, 2, 5. I have 5 in the works.
lot when I say it out loud. But you know, don't worry about it. It's all good. So this is the Little House Needleworks Hometown Holiday. People do these in a variety of ways. Soft finishes, worked together in a big long line. I had originally thought, and I have many of them. They just released a quilt shop and a music store, and I have to add them to it. See, it keeps morphing. It was originally going to be a line of these little, they're so cute. I mean, you've got, which one is that? The Mercantile, a filling station, which is so appropriate. My husband works at Les Schwab, and so, I mean, it's not a gas station, but, you know, traditional filling stations were full service stations, and so they would have changed tires and fixed repairs and stuff like that, and these are just charming. I absolutely adore them all. And I had an original layout that I was going to do them in. This is actually, yeah, it's still Hometown Holiday. It's the sweet shop. It has little candy canes in the window. Hard to see through the plastic, and my camera's not focusing well, but I'm excited to do this one. Again, I hit a roadblock because I started this 1/2 on 40 count, micro-sized. It's gonna be perfect for these little houses. But focusing, come on, you can do it. Anyways, that's as far as I am because it's so small and I need good lighting. But I think I've got a solution for that conundrum, and I am super excited to start busting some of these out. I think I'm a more proficient stitcher now than I was when I started this a couple of years ago. I've had a lot more experience, and yeah, this is gonna be a fun one. I haven't decided if I'm gonna do like 1 row or 2 rows or what. I've got a large piece of linen here. I can kind of do whatever I want with it, and I think we'll just kind of see how it goes. At some point I will have to stop buying charts though and pick a layout so that I can just move through it. This was a Barbara Anna stitch along last year that I bet you can't guess. Fell off the wagon. How'd you know? I never do that. Actually, I just checked the chart. It was 2020. So, a year and a half ago. It's fine. I think I bought it last year. If I bought it during 2020, it's not impossible that I did. Oh my gosh, I love it. This whole border is these holly berries, and that's what I fell in love with. And I mean, it's got little reindeers and other little villages and a Santa and stuff like that. And they're all charming, but I fell in love with the border. She who finishes borders last purchased a chart for a border. Who'da thunk? I love it. I can hardly wait to get going on this one again. This one will be pretty. Somebody finished this one as a pillow too. And I always hesitate to do cross stitch in pillow form on more involved ones just because there's so much work, but it was really pretty. So I'm tempted on this. I'm not committed to it, but I'm tempted to finish that one in a pillow. This one I know I'll finish in a pillow. I just zipped that bag closed instead of open. Okay. This is not a very exciting start, and I don't have a picture. Maybe I shouldn't show it. It's too late. I've already prefaced it. Satsuma Street, last year's, I think it's called the Noel sampler, and it literally says Noel and then has motifs mixed into it. And it's super, I mean, traditional Satsuma Street. The best thing about her designs, other than their adorable charm, is her colors are fantastic. She has no fear of just tossing bright colors right in your face, and I love it. I love her for it. Anyways, so it's very cheerful, very fresh. I'm gonna finish it in a pillow that can go where my owl is during the Christmas season, because I tend to stay pretty traditional out in my public spaces with my Christmas. I really like the classic reds, greens, golds, simple decor out in my living spaces. But I also have a real love for the bright, more modern, or you could argue vintage, depending on which way you look at it, with the pinks and, you know, aquas and stuff like that. And so I've decided I'll put my cute bright decor in here, since I love the rainbow and this is my rainbow room. And then I'll put the more mature, perhaps, designs out in my public spaces so that they will be a little bit more cohesive with what I've already established there. This one was released. These are free designs. They were released in 2014. Brooks Books. A lot of people do them, and everybody does them a little bit different. I do not have, because they were released as individual patterns for free, I assume over a period of time. There isn't like a comprehensive, this is what you do with them kind of picture. They are just individual pictures. And mine are all black and white because ink is expensive. So they are so cute. They are super cute. So it's 25 days of Christmas, and I am doing them. I dyed my own even weave for this one, and I had to do it twice because my first piece was too small. It just wasn't gonna work. I did the frames for everything, and it was like a ½ inch from the edge when I got that first row done, and even for a soft finish, that just did not make me comfortable. So I went out and got a different piece of even weave and re-dyed, and this one didn't have the marbling that the first one had, but it's fine because they'll fit a lot better. And I'm going to do a grid of 5 by 5 for the 25 days, and I just started in the middle and I'm kind of working my way out. They're so cute. Oh my gosh, they're adorable. I am loving stitching this one. I mean, I think I finished the first two the first year, and then I got this much done last year. So it's not like it's a fast finish, but like I said, I stitch for the enjoyment of it, not for the finishes necessarily. So even though I have plans for them and I dream of putting them places in my home, it's not why I stitch. It's not why I stitch. So, which is nice because I don't feel the pressure to be like, I have to finish this. I just get to enjoy it. Anyway, this has been a lot of fun. Brooks Books. You can go to, it says on the bottom of here, brooksbooks.com. And it's the 25 days of Christmas. They're just, like I said, free designs. You can download them and print them for your own use. And, oh my goodness, they're charming. They're so much fun. Even if you just did a couple for, like, really small for ornaments, if you had more brightly colored tree, or little ones would absolutely adore these. They have a lot of charm. Yeah, they're a lot of fun. Okay, my last one. Drum roll. Okay, I lied. When I said drum roll and I looked down, I found one more tucked in between the bags. Second to last one. Drum roll. This is called Winter on Main Street. And I got the pattern off of Etsy. I don't know its story. I don't know if it was once a kidded thing that I really don't know. I bought it years ago, and when I first discovered Etsy, and it was really inexpensive, so I don't know its origins. But it's a beautiful pattern, and I'm glad to have it. And there's one more house, and it kind of fades at an angle into the winter street. I haven't done any back stitching yet. I'm sure that will be magic on this one. It's a lot of fun to do. And I think it will have an elegance. And it will be nice to have something that I can keep up beyond Christmas. Because I definitely, there's a depression that comes with taking down all of the beautiful, twinkly, happy things, and then you're in really the beginning of the heart of winter. So I look for things to keep that magic and coziness going through the season, because I actually love winter, but I do struggle with depression, and so that's a legitimate thing for me, that you take away the magic and the anticipation, and you're left with an empty, barren house. And while there can be a relief and in the cleanliness and simplicity, I definitely want, I don't know, I just want something still happening. So, side tangent. This is a project I started, so this one has a story. It's Woodland Babies. They're so cute. Stony Creek. I've taped the side because it was falling apart, because I tend to flip my books inside out. Super, super cute. My mother, when she was pregnant with my little sister, did a large scale, cute little critters like this cross stitch quilt for my sister. And I remember her growing up with that, and it just had such a cozy textural quality, and I just loved it. I thought it was really sweet and lovely, and a good excuse to stitch cute things. And so when my husband and I were trying to have kids at, you know, the beginning of our marriage, sorry, this got really real here, little moment. I started this with hopes that I would make it for my baby, our baby, and when that was determined to not be a possibility, I stopped stitching on it. It's so cute. Not all the back stitches done on our little frog yet. I love the squirrel. Clearly not back stitched yet. Stony Creek does a lot of back stitching, so and it's just on a natural Aida, but I want to finish this at some point. My sister is now married, and you know, when they start their family, it would be nice to have cozy things for my nieces and nephews to come and snuggle in. So I will finish this one, and it will be charming. You know, one of these days I'll pull it out again. I need to buy some more Aida though, because I don't know that I have any more. It makes it really hard to stitch. Anyways, if you guys have stuck with me this long, I thank you for clicking on my video. Like I said, this is my first video, so I mean, people say this, and it is what it is. If you could like and subscribe, I will definitely be putting out more videos. I think I'm going to shoot for bi-weekly for now, just because, like I said, I'm not a super fast stitcher. I stitch every day, but I want there to be some progress on what I'm working on and stuff. So I think we'll see how every 2 weeks goes, which will put me doing another video right around my birthday. There's usually some birthday shopping and stitching that happens. So that'll be fun timing. That actually worked out really well. Anyways, thank you for coming, my friends. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found some inspiration, or were able to get some stitching of your own done while I rattled on here. If I can do anything about sound or anything like that to improve, please, I'm an open book. I'm willing to learn. I want it to be enjoyable for everybody. So, yeah, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Stay happy and healthy, and farewell for now. Bye.